day, everyone. My name is Mrs. Gladys. I welcome you to today's online Higherground Academy online teaching. Previously, we treated noun in our previous class, and there are different types. But today we're going to look at a different topic, which is entirely different from noun. Today's topic is letter writing. As we all know, a letter is a piece of continuous writing by which you send a message to some other person when you cannot speak to the person directly. Now, there are three kinds of letters. They are informal letter, formal letter, and semi-formal letters. Before I go further, I would want us to know these three types of letters. Though they are different in the ways they are written down, but the elements bind them together. The elements are like ingredients that we put in our food in order for our food to become what? Tastier. So these are the three kinds of letters we have in English language. The elements of a good letter. These are the elements of a good letter. You must observe these elements of a good, if you want to have a good letter writing. These elements are applicable to all the different kinds of letters enumerated above. What are the different letters enumerated above? They are informal letter, formal letter, and semi-formal letters. Now, the elements are introduction. You must have an introduction when you are writing a letter. The second element is the body. I'm not talking about your physical body, but rather the content of what you are writing. That's what I'm referring to as the body of your letter. Now, the third one is the conclusion. Now, whatever has a beginning must surely have an end to it all. So, the introduction is the beginning of your letter. And then the body of content is the middle part of your letter, which conveys the message you want to send across to your recipient. Now, the conclusion is bringing whatever you are writing to an end, bringing it to a close. So, these three elements enables you to have a good letter writing. So, you must observe these three elements whenever you are writing a letter. We shall be treating the three kinds of letters in our subsequent classes. But meanwhile, we are going to treat one of it for today, which is the first one, informal letter. Now, informal letters are non-official letters. They are letters that are written. They are called friendly letters. Why do they call them friendly letters? They are called friendly letters because they are letters that are written to friends, classmates, and those who are closely related to you by blood. Who are those that are closely related to you by blood? For instance, your relatives. Your relatives are closely related to you by blood. Now, examples of those relatives: your sister, your brother, your father, your mother, your uncle, aunt, cousin, nephew, niece, grandmother, and grandfather. You can see it there, grandmother or grandfather. Now, in informal letter, you are expected to write only one address. In informal letter, you are expected to do what? Write just one address, known as addressor. Now, the address which you are going to write is your own address, which is known as the address of the addressor. At the top right position of your book, and with date below. There are different ways of writing address. Different ways of writing address. They are, the first one is the slant open or close type of address. The slant open or close type of address. You can see my address on the board. 3 Mobolaji Street, Marine Beach, Apapa, Lagos State. And the date is written below. Like I said earlier on, the writer's address is written at the top right position of your book with date below. This is the top right part of your book, the top right part of your book. Now, after the address of the addresser, the date comes below it. And you can see how I used my punctuation marks. It is very, very important when you are writing a letter. It is very, very important for you to make use of your punctuation marks. You can see after 3, there is a comma there, Mobolaji Street, and there is a comma after the street. And then when you move to Marine Beach, there is also a comma, and then Apapa, there is also a comma. Then Lagos State, which finalizes it all. Lagos State, which ends with what? A full stop. And then you leave a space and then move down and put your address. And write your address there. You can see the way I've written my own address. Now, for you to know that your address is slant, you can use a ruler. You can use a ruler in order to make it slant. You can use a ruler to measure and see if your address is slant or not. Now, one of the methods of getting it slant is by writing your number here, the number here, and then you can see there is a comma there. The next thing you are going to write underneath will not be exactly under number 3. You have to move it to where the comma is. Are you getting what I'm saying? You have to move it to where the comma is. And then when you want to write the next one, which is Apapa, the A will now be under the A of Marine. I hope you're getting what I'm explaining. The capital letter A for Apapa will be under the small letter A for Marine. And then when you want to write Lagos, your L will not be directly under the A. It will be under the P in Apapa there. The L will be under P. And then your date move to this place. So, by the time you put your ruler this way, you will notice that you have a slant address. Am I communicating? You will know you have a slant address. Now, from my previous classes, I've noticed that most students always write it this way. Number 3, Mobolaji Street. It is not proper. There is no way you write number and then put 3. It is tautology. You don't need to put number and also put 3. This 3 is referring to number. So it is wrong for you to place your NO, which signifies number there. It is totally wrong. So your address starts this way. Is that clear? It starts this way. Now, this is for the slant open close type of address. Okay. The first one, slant open and close, I explained to you the other time, has punctuation marks if you look at it very well. But in this case, this other type of address, you can see that there is no punctuation marks. You can see on the board, there is no punctuation marks written on it. But the other first slant open, you can see there's punctuation marks there. Here, there is no punctuation marks. You can decide to use the one with punctuation marks. You can as well decide to use this one. They are all the same. They are the same. There is no crime in it. If you decide to use this, you use this one without punctuation mark. If you decide to use the other one with punctuation mark, all good and fine. Now, what I want you to note there is that when you're writing your address, make sure that the first letters of your address are always capitalized. For instance, you can see my M in Mobology, the M is capitalized. You can see my S in street, the S is also capitalized. The M in marine is capitalized. The B in beach is capitalized. And the A in Apapa is capitalized. And the L in Lagos is capitalized. And then the A in April is capitalized. So you see, this is one of the ways you can write a good address. Now, what I noticed in some of our students is that when it comes to dates, they usually write their dates this way instead of this way. Permit me to correct that. This signifies positioning. You don't have to bring your TH up there. Your TH must be down, just as I have written this. Please don't make the same mistake others make. Try and rectify it now. So your TH comes down and not up. If it comes up, you are talking about 12th position. That's what it means when the TH is up. So please take note of that. Now we are through with the slant open and close type of address. Now we're moving to block open and close type of address. You can see the block open is straightened. Unlike the slant open and close, you can see them written in a slant form. This one is straight down. It's written on a straight line. When you pick up your ruler and place it, you notice that it is written in a straight way. So the same punctuation marks is found there as well. Your 3, Mobology Street, you can see the M is capitalized. All the first letters of these places are capitalized. So please take note of that. And you can see the punctuation marks in all of them. Now, 12th April, there is a comma there. Then the 2020 full stop comes at the end of 2020. So please take note of that. Now I move to the other type that is void of punctuation marks. There is no punctuation mark in this. You can decide to use this as your address without punctuation mark, or decide to use this with punctuation marks. They are the same. But one advice I do give to my students is that whenever they want to write a letter, they should please endeavor to use this method. I prefer this method. This method will not get you confused. But when you use this method, at times some of our students get confused in the ways they measure it. The way they measure it get them quite confused. But in this aspect, you don't need to be confused. All you have to do is just place it according to the number, according to the letters above. That's the way you place it in order to enable you get a straight line. So I will advise you to use this method, but the choice is up to you. As for me, I prefer this method because one can make mistake in this. A little slight mistake will make you lose your marks. So be very careful when writing your address. When you miss maybe one of the punctuation mark, you can lose your mark as well. So you have to be very careful. After writing your letter, you have to go through it again in order to see where errors are found, and then you rectify them. Now we are through with the ways of writing address. Now we are moving to what we call salutation. Immediately after the address comes the salutation. If it's your friend you're writing to, make sure there is always a dear for everyone. In informal letter, you start with dear. Now, dear Titi. Titi is my friend. So that's why I've written it this way. Dear Titi. And remember to place a comma after the Titi. Now, after my salutation, I move on to introduction. If you remember in the earlier explanation I gave on the 3 elements of a good letter, I told you there is introduction, there is the body or content, and I told you there is conclusion as well. So please, this is the step you have to follow. I'm bringing in the elements of a good letter writing into action now. This is the introductory aspect. The introductory aspect it shows how you appreciate the person. You tend to ask for the welfare of the person you are writing the letter to. That's what introduction is in terms of this informal letter. It shows that you care about the person you are writing the letter to. So this is my friend Titi. I've written a letter to Titi. This is the salutation, dear Titi. And this is my introduction. How are you and your siblings? Remember, it's a question I ask. So a question mark, which is one of the punctuation marks, must be found there. Remember, I told you when you're writing a letter, endeavor to put punctuation marks so as to make the letter to be meaningful to whoever that is going to read it. So I asked a question, how are you and your siblings? It's a question, that's why question mark is found there. Hope all is well. How is the lockdown in your area? Is also a question in which, if Titi decides to reply back, she will tell me how she and her siblings are doing. And she will also tell me about the lockdown in her area because I asked a question. So if she must reply, she will answer my question in her own reply. Hope you and your siblings are complying with the use of the face mask and social distancing. When a student uses hope, some of them are misled. They think this comes after, at the end of it, they think it ends with a question mark. No, it is not a question. It's just like a rhetorical question of which you already know the answer to it. So it doesn't come with a question mark, but most students always put a question mark at the end of it. Please take note of that as well. Now I move on to my body, which is the content of the letter. This is introductory aspect, asking about my friends and her family's welfare. Now I've moved to the body or the content of my letter, which is the main purpose of me writing to Titi. This is the body. Anyway, I just want to inform you that my mom just put to bed. She gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. She gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. Now, one other thing you should put into consideration is that whenever you are writing the introduction starts with a paragraph. Your body also starts with a paragraph. Why do I say so? It's important for you to start with a paragraph because your introduction is actually talking about the welfare of the person you are writing to. While the body or the content of your letter is actually carrying the information you want to pass across to the person. It also starts with a paragraph as well. It starts with a paragraph as well. Now, I want to tell you that in the body of a letter, you can have as many paragraphs you want to. You can have as many paragraphs you want in the body or content of your letter. Why? Because the paragraphs in your content carries new ideas. You remember, a paragraph always carries an idea. Now, when you have an idea that is different from another idea that you want to pass across to someone, you need to put the first one in a paragraph, and then after that, you move to another paragraph which contains a different idea from the first one you have written. Now, let's take a look at what I've written here. Look at here is the body. Anyway, I just want to inform you that my mom just put to bed. She gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. You can see it's a paragraph and it ends here. Now, if you look at the other paragraph, it's saying something else. The naming. The first one, I just told her that my mom gave birth. And now the second one, I'm trying to tell her the naming of the baby will be next Friday by 4 p.m. And I want you to be in attendance to assist me in some of the things I'm going to do on that day. So you can see that the idea here is different from the idea here. This one is telling her that my mom just went to bed. This one is telling her the date of the naming and how I want her to come around to assist me in all the things I'm going to do for that particular day. I hope I'm communicating. Okay, now we move to the next one. If you remember the last paragraph in the content I wrote, I said I told my friend to come around for the naming, to come and assist me in some of the things I'm going to do on that day. Now, this is the third paragraph in the content. Now, when you calculate all the paragraphs, it will give you 4 paragraphs, including the introduction. It will give you 4 paragraphs in the essay. Remember, I told you that the first paragraph is the introduction. The second paragraph is the content, if you remember. And the content can have as many paragraphs as you want, depending on the ideas you want to pass across to your friend or whosoever you're writing the letter to. Now, this is the last paragraph. This last paragraph is the concluding paragraph. The concluding paragraph, you can see what I wrote there. I'll be expecting you. Regards to your mom, dad, and siblings. See ya and bye. Now, there's one thing I want you to note. In informal letter, you are free to use slangs. Very free to use slangs. Nobody's going to criticize you for that. You are free to use slangs because it's a friendly letter. It's not an official letter where you don't allow to use slang. So you are free to use abbreviations as well. You can see I use contraction here. I'm supposed to write it in full, which is I will, but I decide to make it a contraction by omitting W and the I from it, giving me this contraction. I'll be expecting you. I'll be expecting you. Regards to mom, dad, and your siblings. See ya and bye. You can see the use of this punctuation mark here. You can see the use of this is exclamation mark. You can see the use of apostrophe here. You can see the use of full stop, comma, and so on. You can use whichever punctuation marks you feel like using. You can use it when writing. And now we are going to the closing subscription. The closing subscription here states that yours sincerely. Now this is the WAEC standard for junior WAEC. You use yours sincerely. WAEC so much love this sincerely. You can use yours friend. You understand there are so many things you can write in the closing subscription, but the WAEC standard, yours sincerely. And I want you to note that the Y in the yours is always capitalized, while the remaining letters are always written in small letters. Then the S here is written in small letter. You are not expected to write the S in capital letter. It is the Y only that is expected to be written in capital letter. And then after the yours sincerely, you put a comma there. Then you write your name, Ngozi. Remember, Ngozi is a proper noun. So you are expected to use a capital letter for the first letter there. The N, which is the first letter, must be what? Capitalized. And then after writing your name, Ngozi, you put a full stop there. Your friend knows you, so if you like, you add your surname to it, but in most cases, you just write your name because your friend knows the person that is writing to him or her. So you write your name. But in other letters, you are expected to put your name and surname in order for the person to identify who you are. And this is the assignments given to you, write a letter to your uncle or aunt telling him or her what the lockdown has cost in your home. It should not be more than 250 words long. Hope to see you next week. If you have any question, when you look at the bottom of your phone, you can place your comments there, and I'll be available to answer your questions. Have a nice day.